If a disaster hit tonight, would your kitchen keep you alive? Most Americans don't realize it, but the average home runs out of usable food in just 3 days when the power goes out or supply chains break. And what's worse? The items you think will save you might actually be the first to spoil. Hey everyone, I'm David, and I've spent days digging through FEMA reports, prepping guides, and even emergency survival blogs to find the real story behind food security during disasters. And what I found was shocking. Most people stock the wrong stuff. In this video, I'm going to show you 11 essential food items you absolutely need at home before any disaster hits, the ones that stay fresh, require no fridge, and actually keep your body fueled and your mind calm. We're not just talking about boring canned soup either. I'll show you what preppers really stock, why peanut butter might be more valuable than gold, and which item FEMA recommends but almost nobody talks about. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. By the end, you'll have a ready-to-copy checklist that could literally save your life or your family's comfort during the next power outage, flood, wildfire, or worse. And while you're watching, drop a comment. Have you ever experienced a food shortage, price hike, or empty shelves at your local store? What's the one item you wish you had when disaster struck? Let's help each other get ready. Let's kick things off with one of the most overlooked but absolutely critical food items to have on hand during any disaster: canned meats, fish, and poultry. Now, before you think this sounds boring or bland, hear me out. These cans could be the reason you're getting enough protein when the fridge is dead, the stove won't light, and grocery store shelves are bare. Imagine this: there's no power for days, it's freezing outside, and your fresh food is already spoiling. What's going to keep your energy up? That's right, protein. Your body burns more calories when it's stressed or cold, and protein is what helps you stay sharp, strong, and sane. Canned tuna, chicken, beef, salmon, even Spam, are high in protein, have a shelf life of 2 to 5 years, and require zero cooking. Just open and eat. And don't think it's all the same mushy texture. These days, you can find seasoned, smoked, and even lightly flavored varieties that taste pretty good right out of the can. Some even come in easy-to-tear vacuum-sealed pouches, which are a total game-changer if you don't have a can opener or just want to travel light. Throw one in a go bag, and you've got a ready-to-eat meal anytime, anywhere. Here's something most people don't know. During Hurricane Sandy, emergency workers in New York reported that canned protein ran out first. Not water, not batteries, meat. Why? Because when people panic, they want something filling, comforting, and calorie-dense. A single can of chicken or salmon can deliver over 25 grams of protein and can be stretched across multiple meals when paired with rice, pasta, or even crackers. If you've ever seen empty shelves before a snowstorm or power outage, you already know how fast these items disappear. So stock up now, before prices jump or supply chains snap again. Keep a mix of different options and remember, no fridge, no fire, no problem, just pop the lid and fuel your body. Now that you've got your proteins covered, let's talk canned vegetables, the unsung heroes of your emergency stash. These aren't just for health nuts or your grandma's pantry. In a crisis, canned veggies bring more to the table than you might think, literally. First of all, they are packed with vital nutrients like fiber, potassium, and vitamins A and C, nutrients your body still needs even when you're stuck inside with no power and low morale. When your immune system is stressed, which it always is during a disaster, these nutrients help your body stay strong and fight off illness. That's especially important if you're stuck eating mostly starches or processed snacks. And here's the kicker: canned vegetables can last up to 5 years when stored in a cool, dark place. That means they're not just good for emergencies, they're long-term insurance for your body. And while everyone else is scrambling for frozen peas that are thawing in a powerless fridge, you'll have shelf-stable carrots, green beans, corn, spinach, and even sweet potatoes ready to go, no cooking required. Don't underestimate how much mental relief it brings to eat something familiar when everything else feels chaotic. A can of corn or green beans might not sound exciting now, but during a disaster, that little taste of normal can go a long way. Just don't forget to go for low-sodium options when you can. You don't want to be guzzling precious water just to deal with overly salty food. Oh, and a quick pro tip: drain the liquid into a clean container instead of pouring it out. That fluid is full of nutrients and can be reused to flavor rice or hydrate dried food later. In a crisis, nothing gets wasted. So, don't sleep on canned veggies. They may not seem glamorous, but when you're stuck at home for days on end, they might just be the quiet MVPs of your pantry. Alright, let's move to pantry powerhouse number 3, canned beans and legumes. If canned meat is your survival protein, beans are your all-in-one fuel station. They are rich in protein, packed with fiber, and loaded with complex carbs that keep your energy up and hunger down when meals are few and far between. Here's the thing most people overlook: beans aren't just filler. In fact, just 1 cup of canned black beans gives you 15 grams of protein and nearly half your daily fiber. That means they keep you full longer, stabilize blood sugar during stressful times, and even help with digestion when you're living off non-perishables. And yes, that's a big deal when your system's not exactly running on fresh produce and smoothies. Plus, canned beans have a shelf life of 2 to 3 years, are incredibly affordable, and come in dozens of varieties, from black and kidney beans to chickpeas, lentils, and cannellini. You can eat them cold, straight from the can, or mix them with canned veggies and rice for a protein-packed survival bowl. Add a little hot sauce or seasoning, which we'll get to later, and you've got a legit meal. And let's not forget their secret power: versatility. They work as sides, mains, or even spreadable protein if you mash them up. Hello, makeshift hummus. Also, unlike dried beans, they don't require soaking or hours of cooking. Huge win if you don't have power or propane. Here's something interesting I came across in a FEMA food report. Beans were listed as a top protein source for long-term disaster shelters because of their affordability and high nutritional value. That means if federal agencies are relying on them during extended crises, you probably should too. So whether you're bracing for a winter blackout or just prepping your storm kit, stock a mix of beans. Trust me, when the chips are down, your gut and your mood will thank you. Coming in at number 4, canned soups and chili, the ultimate emergency comfort food. Now, this isn't just about staying fed, it's about staying sane. In times of crisis, when you're cold, tired, and mentally drained, opening a can of hot, hearty soup can feel like a warm hug in a bowl, even if you don't have a bowl. Canned soups are lifesavers because they are ready to eat, shelf-stable, and packed with hydration, a factor most people forget when they are focusing only on calories. Whether it's chicken noodle, lentil, minestrone, or beef stew, most canned soups give you a mix of carbs, protein, sodium, and water, which are exactly what your body craves when it's under physical or emotional stress. And then there's chili. A single can of chili with beans can offer over 20 grams of protein, plus fiber and fat, making it one of the most efficient all-in-one meals you can store. And it tastes good, like really good, especially when you've been stuck eating plain crackers or dry granola for days. What a lot of people don't realize is that FEMA and Red Cross emergency food lists specifically recommend canned soups because they provide both nutrition and morale support. It's hard to explain until you've been through a blackout or hurricane, but when everything feels chaotic, the smell of hot soup, yes, even from a camp stove or sterno flame, can feel like life returning to normal. Just a tip, go for pull-top cans if you can. In a real emergency, fumbling around for a can opener in the dark is the last thing you want to deal with. Also look for low-sodium and hearty options, the kind that actually contains chunks of vegetables and meat, not just broth. So don't skip the soup aisle. When your world feels upside down, canned soups and chili bring more than just calories, they bring comfort, hydration, and a tiny piece of normal. At number 5, we have the foundation of every survival pantry, dry staples like rice, pasta, and quinoa. If canned foods are your heavy hitters, these are your utility players, cheap, compact, long-lasting, and incredibly filling. Let's start with rice. A single 10-pound bag of white rice can feed a family for weeks and has a shelf life of up to 30 years when stored properly. That's not a typo, 30 years. Even in a basic pantry, you'll get at least 4 to 5 years out of it. It's calorie-dense, easy to cook with minimal water, and pairs with just about anything, from beans and canned meat to soup or even peanut butter in a pinch. Pasta? Same deal. A dry box of spaghetti or macaroni will last 2 to 3 years, and it's one of the few carbs that brings comfort and versatility in one package. Plus, you can stretch a small amount into multiple meals, especially when food is rationed. Bonus points if you grab varieties that cook quickly, saving both fuel and time in an emergency. Now here's a slightly lesser-known gem, quinoa. It might sound trendy, but it's a legit survival food. Why? Because unlike rice and pasta, quinoa is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids. That's rare in plant-based foods. It cooks fast, fills you up, and gives your body essential nutrients when meat isn't an option, or when you're trying to stretch that last can of chicken. These dry staples are also lightweight, easy to store in bulk, and immune to sudden price hikes, for now. But during COVID, and again during extreme weather events, these items were among the first to vanish from store shelves. People knew, they are cheap, they are filling, and they keep you going when everything else runs out. So stock up while it's still quiet. Keep them in airtight containers to prevent pests and moisture, and rotate them every few years. When disaster hits, you'll be glad you've got bags of clean-burning fuel for your body, right in your pantry. Number 6 on the list? One of the most underrated survival superfoods, peanut butter, and its cousins, almond and sunflower seed butter. This isn't just a childhood lunchbox staple. In an emergency, peanut butter becomes a lifeline. Here's why. It's calorie-dense, packed with healthy fats, protein, and just enough sugar to keep your energy steady. 2 tablespoons can provide nearly 200 calories, 8 grams of protein, and enough fat to keep you feeling full for hours. In a situation where food is limited or you're rationing, that kind of efficiency is gold. But it's not just about the macros. Nut butters are ready to eat, require no cooking or prep, and have a shelf life of up to 2 years, longer if unopened and kept in a cool, dark spot. During a disaster, when stress is high and food choices are slim, even a single spoonful can provide comfort, satiety, and a taste of normalcy. What makes it even more valuable? Kids love it. A spoonful on a cracker, mixed into oats, or just eaten straight from the jar, it delivers fast, reliable nutrition. And let's be real, adults need that mental boost too. Here's a pro tip, look for single-serving pouches or packets. They're mess-free, portable, and ideal for bug-out bags or car kits. Plus, they help with portion control when food needs to be stretched over several days. Whether it's for a blackout, flood, or wildfire evacuation, nut butters provide essential nutrients with zero fuss. So next time you're at the store, grab an extra jar or 2. Because when the lights go out and stress is running high, you'll be glad to have something that sticks to your ribs and keeps you going. At number 7, we've got the ultimate grab-and-go lifesavers, granola bars, energy bars, and trail mix. These little packages may not seem like much at first glance, but when you're low on time, fuel, or even hope, they're a godsend. First, let's talk about granola and energy bars. These are pre-packaged nutrition bombs. The best part? They're shelf-stable for over a year, require no cooking, and come ready to eat, making them ideal for blackouts, bug-out bags, or emergency kits in your car. Now, trail mix is a whole different kind of magic. Often called GORP by hikers, good old raisins and peanuts, trail mix is a DIY survival snack that can be as basic or as power-packed as you want. Dried fruit gives you sugar for quick energy, while nuts and seeds provide long-lasting fats and protein. Add in some dark chocolate chips or a sprinkle of salt, and you've got a snack that lifts your mood and powers your body. Here's the thing most people forget. In a crisis, you need snacks. Meals might be irregular. Stress may kill your appetite. But having something small, familiar, and satisfying to reach for can keep your energy up and your morale from crashing. These foods are also easy to ration, which makes them perfect when you're trying to stretch a limited supply over multiple days. And here's a reality check. During recent disasters like the Texas winter storm and California wildfires, energy bars and trail mix were among the first items to disappear from shelves. Why? Because everyone knows they are light, fast, and dependable. So, grab a variety pack. Rotate them every few months. And keep a stash in your home, your car, and your go bag. Because when everything else goes dark, this stuff keeps you moving, physically and mentally. Coming in at number 8, dried fruits and nuts, two simple snacks that punch way above their weight in a disaster. At first glance, they might seem like trail mix leftovers, but don't underestimate them. These are nutritional powerhouses with long shelf lives and high survival value. Let's start with dried fruits. Think raisins, apricots, mango slices, apples, bananas. These are packed with natural sugars, giving you a quick burst of energy when your blood sugar dips. But they also carry important nutrients, potassium, iron, fiber, and antioxidants, that keep your body functioning when fresh produce is no longer an option. When you're living off cans and carbs, just a handful of dried fruit can balance your diet and lift your mood. Now let's talk nuts, almonds, walnuts, peanuts, cashews. These little guys are loaded with healthy fats, protein, and magnesium, and they've got one of the best calorie-to-weight ratios in the pantry. In an emergency, when you're burning more energy than you realize, just staying warm, alert, and mobile, nuts help keep your body fueled longer without needing to eat as often. Together, dried fruits and nuts make an excellent no-cook, no-mess, no-fuss combo. They're perfect for quick snacks, mixing into oats or rice, or just calming a growling stomach in the middle of a stressful night. Even better? Most of them last 6 to 12 months unopened, and longer if vacuum-sealed or stored in airtight containers. Here's a lesser-known fact. After Hurricane Katrina, relief agencies began recommending portable, nutrient-dense snacks like dried fruits and nuts in every emergency kit, because they required no prep, no utensils, and helped both adults and kids stay nourished during long periods without access to real meals. So whether you buy them pre-mixed or DIY your own stash, just make sure they're in your disaster plan. In a crisis, these little snacks don't just feed the body, they also feed peace of mind. At number 9, we've got one of the most forgotten, but absolutely essential, items in any disaster pantry: powdered milk or shelf-stable milk. Now before you roll your eyes and picture those old-school chalky packets from the 80s, let me stop you, this one might surprise you. First, let's get real. In a disaster, fresh milk is gone within hours. Refrigeration fails, stores close, and the dairy aisle becomes a ghost town. But your body, and your families, still needs calcium, vitamin D, and protein, especially if you've got kids, seniors, or anyone relying on regular nutrition. Powdered milk has come a long way. The newer versions are way smoother, less gritty, and actually taste close to the real thing when mixed with clean water. One box can make gallons of milk and last up to 20 years when sealed and stored right. That's decades of peace of mind in a tiny container. Then there's shelf-stable or UHT milk, those little cartons you sometimes see in the school lunch aisle. They don't need refrigeration until opened, last for 6 to 12 months, and are a great solution for short to medium emergencies. And yes, they come in regular, almond, oat, and lactose-free versions, so no one in the household is left out. Here's a key point: milk isn't just for drinking. It's also a core ingredient for mixing with oats, baking, making boxed meals, or even just adding to your instant coffee, because trust me, you'll want that comfort brew when the lights are out. During the COVID lockdowns, powdered milk saw a 400% spike in sales across the US, not because it was trendy, but because it was one of the few reliable sources of nutrition left on shelves. That should tell you something. So whether you're prepping for a short outage or a long-term emergency, don't skip this one. Stock some powdered or shelf-safe milk now, because when the fridge is dead and the stores are empty, a warm cup of something familiar might make all the difference. Number 10 might catch you off guard: comfort foods like cookies, coffee, and even hard candy. But let me tell you, in the middle of a crisis, morale is just as important as macronutrients. We talk a lot about survival in terms of calories, protein, and shelf life, but what we often forget is the emotional toll of living through a disaster. Whether it's a hurricane, wildfire, or week-long blackout, stress, fear, and exhaustion wear you down fast. That's where comfort foods come in. Let's start with coffee. Even if you're not a daily drinker, caffeine provides more than a mental boost. It sharpens focus, lifts mood, and helps combat the physical fatigue that sets in during crisis scenarios. Instant coffee packets are compact, lightweight, and require just hot water. Even cold brew bags work in a pinch. In a cold, powerless house, a hot cup of something familiar can feel like a lifeline. Cookies and crackers serve another purpose: they bring a sense of normalcy. A small pack of shortbread or chocolate chip cookies can turn a stressful moment into a pause, especially for kids. It's not about the sugar, it's about the psychology. After all, food isn't just fuel, it's comfort, and sometimes that's exactly what keeps people from panicking. And don't underestimate hard candy. It has a ridiculously long shelf life, often 5 years or more, and it's incredibly useful during stressful, low-energy situations. A piece of candy can calm nerves, keep your mouth from drying out, and offer a brief sense of reward or routine when everything else feels uncertain. Emergency responders and Red Cross teams even carry them in field kits for a reason. During the 2021 Texas freeze, many families said one of the hardest parts wasn't the cold, it was keeping spirits up. Those small moments of sweetness, literally, made a huge difference. So no, comfort foods won't keep you alive on their own, but they will help you get through the days when survival feels overwhelming. And sometimes, that's the most important survival tool of all. And finally, number 11, the small but mighty heroes of your disaster pantry: salt, sugar, oil, and spices. On the surface, they might seem like extras, but in a real emergency, these basics can be the difference between barely surviving and actually staying sane. Let's be honest, eating nothing but plain rice, beans, or canned meat for days on end sounds pretty miserable. That's where these flavor lifelines come in. Just a pinch of salt, a dash of seasoning, or a spoon of oil can transform bland survival food into something you'll actually want to eat. Start with salt. It's not just about taste, it's also an electrolyte, which means it helps your body maintain hydration and muscle function, especially if you're sweating or under physical stress. Sugar, on the other hand, provides a quick energy boost and is a crucial ingredient for making basic baked goods or even simple energy balls from oats, nut butter, and dried fruit. Then there's cooking oil, a true staple. Whether it's olive, canola, or coconut, oil delivers essential fats your body needs during extended emergencies when fresh food is scarce. It also helps with food prep, adds calories, and can keep things from sticking if you're cooking over an open flame or portable stove. And let's not forget the spices: black pepper, chili flakes, garlic powder, cinnamon. These are tiny items with huge psychological value. They help break the monotony of survival food and bring warmth, familiarity, and comfort when you need it most. Some even have anti-inflammatory or immune-supporting properties, which is a plus when medical access is limited. In past disaster zones, from Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria to flood-stricken areas in the Midwest, aid workers noted that seasonings and oils were some of the most requested non-perishable items. Because people weren't just looking to eat, they were looking to feel human again. So as you build your pantry, don't just think big, think smart. These small items won't take up much space, but they'll make everything else you've stocked taste and feel a whole lot better. If you found this video helpful, or if it made you rethink what's in your pantry, hit that like button so more people can get prepared before it's too late. Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever faced a food shortage, a sudden price hike, or a blackout that caught you off guard? What's the one item you now always keep stocked? Let's learn from each other and build a stronger, smarter community. And hey, this list is just the beginning. If you want more real-world emergency prep guides, food storage tips, and crisis-tested survival strategies, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a vital update. Because when the next disaster hits, it won't be about panic, it'll be about being ready. Stay safe, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next one.